Class, hello, and welcome to this human resources session on the recruitment process. I will be your tutor, Big Owl. Today, we're going to look at identifying the job vacancy, creating an accurate job description, task analysis, writing a person specification, advertising the position, selecting the best applicant. Let's look at these stages in more detail. Identify the job vacancy. It is vital that not only the recruitment team but also the applicants have a very clear idea of the expectations of the new employee. This will save a lot of time and ensure that the ideal candidate is eventually selected. If the job vacancy is a result of a member of staff leaving, you may feel that you already know the role and simply need someone else to carry out the tasks. However, this may be a good time to re-evaluate the job role. Perhaps you could include new technology, new developments in the company, or different responsibilities. You may find that if one member of staff leaves, their tasks can be carried out by other members of the team. In this case, promotion or re-evaluating their job description may be a solution rather than creating a vacancy. If this is the case, recruitment is not necessary. Create an accurate job description. Now that the role has been established, you need to present it. Writing up the job description as a comprehensive document is a vital part of the recruitment process. Include headings to give as much detail as possible and make the document accessible. Headings may include job title, main purpose of job, who the employee is responsible to, who the employee is responsible for, the main duties, the expected workload and hours, any machinery or technology the employee will be expected to use, who the employee needs to liaise with, training opportunities, details of possible career progression. Task analysis. This means listing all skills, expertise, and attributes needed for that specific job. Isn't task analysis the same as the job description? No, your task analysis will help you to prepare for the next section, which will be the person specification. The person specification requires writing a detailed profile that accurately describes the ideal candidate for the role. The traditional way to do this is to use the following 7-point plan. Physical makeup, to include health, physical bearing, appearance, and speech. Attainments, education, experience, and qualifications. Intelligence, general intellectual capacity. Specific aptitudes, for instance, manual dexterity, specific skills with machinery or technology. Interests, such as social, artistic, physically active, constructional, intellectual, or practical. Disposition, good with people, influential, versatile, self-motivated, independent. Circumstances. These can include any circumstances outside of work except for marital status, if they have children, sexuality and so on, as these are unlawful. Once you have a solid person specification, consider how you will then identify this person. Is an application form necessary, or will a CV and covering letter be sufficient? If an application form is necessary, it must be drawn up before the position is advertised so it can be sent to applicants on request. Make sure that it asks all the questions necessary to determine if the person suits the person's specification that has already been identified. Once you have completed this, you will then want to advertise the position. Where is best to advertise? The more people that you can target, the more applications you'll receive. Advertise as widely as possible. Possibilities include in-house notice boards, publications and intranet, newspapers and magazines, local, national, trade journals, internet-based job agencies and recruitment sites, as well as specific industry sites, local job centre, local radio, headhunters and recruitment consultants, company database, you never know who your contacts will know, word of mouth, recruitment agencies, careers and job fairs, local school and colleges careers departments too. Many of these are free, but some, such as magazine, radio and recruitment consultants, cost. Consider carefully how much you are willing to pay. If you do pay for radio or newspaper advertisements, make sure they are well thought out. There is no point in airing a radio advertisement when few people will hear it, or advertising in the newspaper over peak holiday periods. Make sure that the advert is eye-catching and that all benefits are clearly listed. Target the type of people you are looking for and consider them when putting the advert together. Make the advert interesting but also honest. Be very clear about what qualifications and experience is needed. Having clear application instructions and a clear closing date will also help the application process go smoothly. Once you have received the applications from potential employees, you'll need to select the best person for the job. This can be achieved through filtering applications, interviews, and workshops. This is where the person specification and task analysis really come in useful. If you have a very clear idea of the skills and experience necessary for the role, then you can quickly and effectively sift through the applications and identify the most promising candidates. Interviews not only give you the chance to establish if the details given on an application form are accurate, they also afford the opportunity to ask any questions you may have, to ascertain an applicant's personality, and to gauge firsthand if the person is suitable for a role. They also allow the applicant to ask questions about the job, to understand more of what will be expected of them, and give you the opportunity to promote the good name of the company. If the applicant is unimpressed, then your company will be given a bad name. It is very important that even if you feel the applicant is unsuitable for the job, you treat them fairly and courteously. It is important that you give as accurate a description of the job as possible, so the selected applicant sticks with the job and doesn't waste your time. The interview is also a good time to discuss financial expectations, career progression, and to gauge how serious the candidate is about the job. It is important to consider equal opportunities during the interview process and to be aware of not discriminating against any individual. After the interview, it is common practice to give the new candidate an induction, initial training, and a probationary period. During this period, you can assess any problems and ensure the new employee is settling in well. Should employees receive a handbook? This isn't compulsory, but many employers do have an employee handbook in place, outlining day-to-day issues such as rules regarding breaks and smoking, as well as policies and procedures and that kind of thing. It would be beneficial for employees to be given a copy of this when they begin their employment. How would I deal with applications? All applications must only be handled by those who deal with recruitment. Each application must be treated as strictly confidential. Each person dealing with the applications must be aware of the Data Protection Act 1998 and act in accordance with it. If a person with a disability meets the essential requirements of a role, they must be invited to interview. Once the application deadline has passed and the applications have been processed, it is up to the interview panel to shortlist the candidates. They should use a standardized shortlisting form based on the task analysis and person specification already created. At this stage, you can also assess the candidate's needs. Are any special requirements needed for certain candidates to attend an interview? Consider disabled access. Once a candidate has been selected for shortlist, you can then request references before the interview process. Wouldn't it be easier to use a recruitment agency so that they can deal with all of these processes? You could use a recruitment agency, but there are both advantages and disadvantages to their use. First, I want to discuss what a recruitment agency is. The recruitment process need not always be carried out by your staff. Involving a recruitment agency can be a very efficient way of hiring new staff. Some recruitment agencies specialize in particular industries or areas of recruitment, others cater for all forms of employed work. There are increasingly more internet-based recruitment services, as well as a large number of physical buildings devoted to recruitment in most cities. For a fee, they will find suitable people to fill a specific role. If a candidate is not found, there is usually no fee. The reasons for choosing a recruitment agency include finding temporary staff for maternity or holiday cover, keeping recruitment activity concealed, finding specialists for limited work, finding staff if the company does not have an active recruitment department, delegating recruitment work if in-house staff have too much of a workload. The advantages of using recruitment agencies: allows you more time to focus on other aspects of work. A useful way to fill temporary vacancies: if you are happy with a temp, you can always employ them more permanently. If a candidate proves to be unsuitable, then the agency may offer a rebate or provide a new candidate. Agencies often take care of tax issues. Agencies often already have a stock of workers available and so may be able to get new staff very quickly. Useful if you want to hide job vacancies from competitors. The disadvantages of using recruitment agencies. The agency takes a percentage of the employee's wage, which can prove to be expensive for you. If a suitable applicant isn't found, then you will lose time that could have been used on the recruitment process. If a temporary worker works for you for a long time, they are legally regarded as your employee. This affects tribunal matters. Goodbye, class, and good luck.